क्लास 11th। आप प्रोटीन्स पढ़ रहे थे और आपको आज प्रोटीन्स कंटिन्यू करना है एंड द सब टॉपिक ऑफ प्रोटीन इज फंक्शंस ऑफ प्रोटीन। Proteins are very important constituents of our body. They form major portion of the protoplasm and they are also present each and everywhere in our body. There are so many functions. First function is protective function of proteins. Protective function. We know that proteins are present in our skin, in nails, in hair, and these structures protect our body. Nails show protection. Skin also protects the underlying organs and muscles. The hair also shows protection. These protective organs are made up of keratin, like skin, like nails, like hoofs of animals, and hair and other parts. They are protective, made up of keratin. Also, there are some proteins which are defensive in function. Defensive. They show defense. They help in defense. They fight against the antigens. They fight against the antigens and act as the protective bodies which are known as immunoglobulins and also antibodies. Immunoglobulins are proteins. Antibodies are also proteins. These are the substances which help in defense and they are produced by lymphocytes in our body. Lymphocytes. Proteins have also the function, they help in contraction of muscles. And the proteins involved, they are known as contractile proteins. There are contractile proteins like there is actin, there is myosin, there is troponin, there is tropomyosin. These are known as contractile proteins. They help in muscle contraction and without contraction we cannot move from one place to another. Therefore the proteins have also a role in the contraction of muscles. You know that you already studied the proteins, they form microtubules. Microtubules, you know, they are present in the organs, in the parts of organelles of cell like cilia, like flagella, like centrioles and spindle apparatus. Spindle apparatus. These structures of the cell like cilia, flagella, centrioles and spindle apparatus. Basal body as well. Basal body. Basal body is present at the base of the cilia and the flagella. And cilia and flagella arise from the basal body. All these structures, cilia, flagella, centrioles, spindle apparatus and basal body, they are made up of microtubules. They are microtubular structures. आपने पढ़ा है वो 9+2 arrangement, 0+9 arrangement microtubules का cilia and flagella में और centriole भी आपने पढ़ा है. You know that they are made up of microtubules and these microtubules are actually proteinaceous. They are made up of proteins. Also there are P proteins. P proteins are the specific proteins present in CO tube elements. CO tube elements are present in plants. CO tube elements of plants are present or containing a special type of proteins known as the P proteins. Proteins are also present as enzymes in our body. Proteins are present as enzymes. They help in digestion of food. They also help in metabolism of various chemical processes involved inside the cell. Like there is pepsin in the stomach, it is a protein. There is trypsin secreted by the pancreas, it is a protein. There is insulin, that is a hormone, sorry. Now the enzymes are also made up of proteins. Some of the enzymes, not all, and these enzymes are involved in digestion. There are proteins which are known as transport proteins. Transport proteins. Proteins also help in transport. Like there is a protein which is known as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is present in blood and this hemoglobin carries oxygen and carbon dioxide. Therefore, the protein, hemoglobin, it is a transport protein. It is a vehicle. It carries oxygen. Therefore, proteins are also transport proteins. Proteins may also be storage proteins. Storage proteins. Proteins are also which are known as storage proteins, and these storage proteins are present in various food items like milk. मिल्क में प्रोटीन होता है स्टोरेज प्रोटीन, एग्स में स्टोरेज प्रोटीन होता है, सीड्स में स्टोरेज प्रोटीन्स होते हैं. These substances contain proteins. Eggs, milk and seeds, they are known as storage proteins. Proteins are also present as hormones. Hormones, you know, hormones are the chemicals produced by the endocrine glands, and they are messengers. They are poured into the blood. They are not released into the vessels, into the ducts, and the endocrine glands or ductless glands. These hormones, like insulin, they are also proteins. Hormones which play a vital role in our body, they are proteins. Proteins also have a role in blood clotting. Blood clotting में भी proteins का role है, as there is a protein which is known as prothrombin. There is another protein, fibrinogen. Fibrinogen and prothrombin, these are the blood clotting proteins. They help in blood clotting, and even a minor cut can cause problem otherwise. But these clotting proteins help in blood clotting, like fibrinogen and thrombin. Thrombin or prothrombin, that is same. Now, another type of protein, they are known as visual proteins. Visual proteins are also present in our body. They help in vision. They help in eyesight. Therefore, we cannot see without the proteins. There are proteins released by the rod cells and coon cells in our body. The proteins are known as rhodopsin and iodopsin. Rhodopsin and iodopsin in our eye. Rhodopsin, iodopsin. These are the visual proteins. They help in vision. They help in eyesight. There are also some memory proteins which are stored in our body. They are called memory proteins. Human memory stored in these proteins. They are called memory proteins. Memory proteins are also here. Memory proteins are present which help in the storage of memory. You also know that there are nucleoproteins. Nucleoproteins are present in nucleic acids like DNA and RNA. Nucleoproteins वो हम पढ़ेंगे आगे DNA and RNA, और वहाँ आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा nucleoproteins. Nucleoproteins are associated in the nucleic acids. वो न्यूक्लिक एसिड्स में होते हैं न्यूक्लियोप्रोटीन्स, लाइक डीएनए में होता है, आरएनए में होता है. आरएनए इज राइबोस न्यूक्लिक एसिड, डीएनए इज डीऑक्सी राइबोस न्यूक्लिक एसिड. टुमारो इंशाल्लाह वी विल टेक न्यूक्लिक एसिड्स.